Oh, I'm so glad you came today. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm glad you came right now. Because, see, a few minutes ago, I was feeling so hungry that it was making me grumpy. That's right, I was hangry. And you do not want to hang out with me when I'm hangry because I'm in a bad mood. And I knew you were coming, and I did not want to be in a bad mood. So I decided to make myself something to eat. But I put that sandwich on the plate, and my tummy was like, no way. I am super duper duper hungry. So I decided I needed to fill up that plate. Oh, that looks much better. Okay, I had a whole filled up plate of food, and then I, quick as a bunny, ate as much as I could. What do you notice now about that plate of food? Yeah, there's not a lot left, right? I did a really good job eating. And now I'm happier, and I also have fuel for my brain and my body to do some good thinking. So it's perfect timing that you showed up because we're going to do some math together today, friends. And our learning goal today says, I know when to add and when to subtract. And guess what? I think my food can help us talk about adding and subtracting. Because, see, when you add and you subtract, you're just making a change to a number. We just today have to figure out what kind of change we're making. Did we make a change to add or make a change to subtract? Let's look back at my food. I told you it could help us. See, I had a plate with just one little piece of food on it, but I made a change. And how would you describe the change? What did I do to that plate of food? Yeah, I just added more food, right? If you start out with one amount and you make a change and you end up with more, that means you added. Okay. Now I had that big filled full plate of food and I made a change. And how would you describe this change to that food? Yeah, I took some away, right? I have way less food than I started with. And when you subtract, you have one amount, you make a change, and the change ends up with less in the very end. All right. So that's how you know if you were adding or subtracting, depending on if you have more in the end or if you have less in the end. Let me show you how that works with numbers. So I have some friends on a bus to help us out. And I'm going to start out with 5 friends. And as the bus is driving around, it's going to stop and a change is going to happen. We're going to have 3 more friends join us on the bus. They got on at the bus stop. Now, at that change, we had 5, but then 3 more got on. So let's count on to find out how many we have now. We can just say 5 because that's how many we started with. 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we have 8 friends. See, I started out with one number and then it got bigger because we added some friends and now I have 8. Let me show you what's happening in this picture, okay? In this story. So, what I like to do is I like to put my good thinking that's happening in my brain down on paper so that other people can know what's happening and how I'm thinking about it. All right, so that's what we're going to practice today. So, here are the 5 friends that started out. And I'm going to do a quick math drawing and then a matching number sentence to show what's happening in this story. Now, you can do a lot of fun things for math drawings, but I'm going to recommend the fast math drawing. And the quick math drawing involves using circles. I mean, number one, I'm not a good drawer. So drawing a whole bus and then all those friends, that's going to take a long time. And quite frankly, if I do it, it's not going to look good. So I'm going to stick with circles. And that's what I recommend for you too. So I'm going to start out by drawing 5 math circles to start to show that I had 5 friends to begin with. Can you count with me? Make sure I do enough. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. So I drew 5 circles because I started out with 5 friends. And I'm going to be building my number sentence at the same time. So I'm going to write a number 5 underneath that. Okay, then we had a change happen because we stopped at the bus stop and we picked up 3 friends. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those 3 friends into my math picture to show the change. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm thinking about my math picture. And yeah, I mean, I definitely showed the 3 friends, but I really wanted to be clear that that was a change that happened. So, oh, I know. I'm going to color in those 3 to show that that was a change that happened. If we're really focusing on that change that's happening, I think that's what I would recommend for you too. Okay, so our change was that we added 3 more. So I need to make sure I put that in my number sentence. So I'm going to write +3 to show that change. Now, the plus sign is the symbol for adding. So that's why I wrote +3. And then the last thing I need to do in my number sentence is just tell how many I have all together. Well, I can use my good math drawing to help me with that. I know that I had 5. I don't even have to recount it. I know it's 5. 5, and then I can count on 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can finish my number sentence by saying 8. Okay, now this is how you check yourself. You need to make sure that your picture and your number sentence match what happens in the story. So I'm going to retell you the story. Can you get your reading finger ready? Yeah, reading fingers can help out with math. Can you point to the number 5 at the beginning of my number sentence? And I'm going to tell you a story. And as we move through, let's just make sure it matches what happened. Okay? So I'm going to say 5 friends were on the bus, and then a change happened because we stopped at the bus stop and picked up 3 more friends. And now there are 8 friends on the bus. Did my number sentence match the story? Let's go. I'm so good. Thank you. Okay, I think you can do this. Yeah, you think that you can tell a good story using your good math drawings and your number sentences? Oh, you totally can. All right, this is what I would like you to do, friends. I would like you to go get a dry erase board and a marker or a piece of paper and a pencil. Go grab those things because you're going to do some work now. Press pause while you get your materials and then press play when you're ready. Okay, do you have your stuff? You ready? Here we go. Now let's not get started yet because you need to hear the story first. Okay? All right, so here are my 4 friends on the bus. My 4 friends were on the bus. They were driving around. They stopped at a bus stop and picked up 2 more friends. And now we have 6 friends on the bus. Okay, that was my story I was going to tell you. Are you ready to do some math drawing to show what happened? Let's get started. All right, let's go back to the beginning. How many friends did we start with, friends? Yes, 4. So with your marker or your pencil, we're going to go ahead and draw a quick picture of those 4 friends. Go for it. You can press pause while you work and then press play to check yourself. Good idea. Okay, so we should have drawn 4 friends, and I'm going to do that with the quickest circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Is that what you did? Perfect. Let's go. All right, so we have our 4 friends, and then we should start building our number sentence. So what number are we going to write underneath our 4 circles? Yeah, the number 4. Go for it. Why do we do that? Yeah, because that's what we started with. I cannot even fool you. You're so good. Okay, here is where our change happens. So a change happens. What was that change? Yes, 2 friends got on. So let's go ahead and upgrade our picture and show those 2 friends in our picture with our quick drawings. Go for it. Draw 2 circles. I recommend coloring them in. All right, you ready? This is what I did. I did 1, 2, and I colored them in to show the change. Okay, so we have our good drawing, and now we showed the change of the 2 people getting on. And what do we need to do to our number sentence? Yeah, we need to show the change there too. What should we write? Well, 2 more came, so we are adding. So let's go ahead and write plus. And then how many got on? Yeah, 2. All right, last step is just finding how many we have all together. Can you go ahead and find the total? What was the total, friend? Yes, 6. This is how I figured it out. I said 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Okay, right now to check yourself, I want you to find a buddy. It can either be a neighbor, a good friend, or even a family member. Press pause, and I want you to retell them the story of what happened using your number sentence. Get that reading finger, and as you read your number sentence, tell them the story. Press pause while you do it. Press play when you're ready. Okay, did your number sentence match the story? Good job, friend. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and erase your board. You did amazing. Erase it. Find a new spot, a new fresh spot on your piece of paper. Because this one you're going to do all by yourself. And then afterwards, you and I can check it together. Are you ready? Okay, don't panic, friends. This one's a little tricky. So listen to the story first. Don't start writing yet. Okay? All right, here we go. So listen to the story. There was a bus and it was totally empty. There were 0 students on the bus. Then the bus stopped at a bus stop and picked up 3 friends. And now there are 3 friends on the bus. Okay, are you ready to do some quick math drawing about what's happening? Okay, here we go. All right, so you're going to start out with there were 0 friends on the bus. Go ahead and do a drawing. Did you draw anything? No, you shouldn't have drawn anything. Why not? Yeah, 0 means nothing. There was nothing up there. Okay, so you don't have to draw any circles. Did I get you? Oh, good job, friends. Oh, I can't trick you. All right, but we could start our number sentence, and what does that look like? Yeah, 0, right? There was 0 friends. We can just write the number 0. Okay, then there were 0 students on the bus, but then 3 friends got on at the next stop. Okay, this is where I'm going to go ahead and have you press pause. I want you to draw the picture to show 3 friends and then show that change in your number sentence. Once you've drawn the 3 friends to show the change and you've written out the next part to your number sentence, then press play to check yourself. Go for it, friends. Okay, you should have a good math drawing going and your number sentence started. All right, so I know that 3 friends got on, so I went ahead and drew 3 circles to show that change. 1, 2, 3. Is that what yours looked like? Now, I started out by coloring them in because that was the change. It was the 3 friends. So I recommend having yours colored in too. All right, what does your number sentence say? Can you read it to me? You did 0 plus 3? Oh, let's go. Good job. Yes. And then what was that total? What did that equal? Yeah, we had 3 in the end, right? There was 0, and then we had 1, 2, 3. So 0 plus 3 equals 3. How'd you do, friend? Yes, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back for doing an excellent job, and then erase your board. Wowza, you are doing amazing. So get your board all erased because we have 8 friends ready for the next part. Now, go ahead and set down your marker or your pencil because we're going to talk about 8 friends. Now, our learning goal today said we were going to know when to add, and that's when we have more in the end, and then also when we're going to subtract. So I brought 8 friends out here, and they're going to show us how they can subtract. So when we subtract, we end up with less. So for this story, we had 8 friends on the bus, and then we stopped, and 2 friends got off. Bye, friends. And so we lost those 2 friends because they got off the bus. So do we still have 8 friends on the bus? No, we do not. We started with 8, but then 2 got off. So let's go ahead and we're going to count to see how many we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have 6 friends left on the bus. Let me show you what that would look like if I put that into a quick drawing and a number sentence, okay? So I know that there were 8 friends to start. So that's what I'm going to draw first. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because that's what I started with. And I'm going to go ahead and start my number sentence by showing that I started with 8 friends. And then a change was made, right? Remember that change? And this time, my friends got off the bus. 2 of them did. So should I be adding circles up there? No, nobody joined us. I'm going to have to cross out some of my circles. That's going to show my change. So I'm going to go ahead. There are 2 friends that got off, so I'm going to go ahead and cross out 2. So I'm going to cross out 1, 2. Okay, now that is how I'm going to show that I changed it and subtracted or took away to make less. So when we're writing a number sentence, we're going to write the minus sign to show that we're subtracting. And we're going to write down how many we took away. So how many did I cross out, friends? Yes, 2. And why did I cross out 2? Yes, because 2 friends got off the bus. Excellent. And now all I have to do is figure out how many I have left. Now, I can do this a couple ways. I can count from the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to show that there's 6. Or, depending on how organized you were with your math thinking, I drew in 5 groups, so I know this is 5, 6. So if you're organized, it kind of helps you to be a little bit faster and more efficient when you're counting to see how many are left. Okay, so we had 8 minus 2 equals 6. And I can check myself, remember, by reading my number sentence out loud and telling the story what happened. So let's do that. Go ahead and get your reading finger and join me, okay? Let's start at the 8. All right, here we go. We had 8 friends on the bus. They stopped at the bus stop and 2 friends got off. And then now we have 6 friends on the bus. Hey, did my number sentence match the story? It did. Ha ha ha. Very good. Oh my gosh, I love math. Okay, I think that you can do a subtraction story too. Yes, you can. You totally can. So grab that dry erase board and a marker and grab your piece of paper, or you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil. And here we go. Now don't start working yet. I got to tell you the story. Okay, so we had 5 friends on the bus. The bus stopped at a bus stop and one friend got off. And now we have 4 friends. Okay, have you already started thinking about what you're going to draw? Oh, I love your math mind. Okay, let's start the story over. Here we go. We have 5 friends. So I'm going to go ahead and have you press pause, draw your 5 friends, and then press play when you are ready to check yourself. Okay, did you draw your 5 friends? Good. It should look something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. And then what should we do? We're going to start writing our number sentence. So what number should we write down? Yes, the number 5. Go ahead and write it, friends. Good job. Okay. If you have your 5 circles and the number 5, get ready for the change. All right. And our change was what? Now watch what happens. What happened? Yeah, one friend got off. How are you going to show that in your picture? Go ahead and do it. Show me. Yes. How many circles did you cross off? We just have to cross off one because only one friend got off. Okay. Wow. You were doing incredibly. All right. So we have 5 in our number sentence. How do we show that one got off? Yes, we're going to do minus because that's how we showed that we subtracted. And then we're going to minus 1 because only one friend got off the bus. All right. Now we just have to figure out how many are left. So go ahead. You're going to use either your picture and count how many friends are left. Yeah, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then write the number 4 to finish out your number sentence. Okay, so right now you should have a good math drawing and a good number sentence to match the story. I want you to go ahead and press pause, find a buddy, look at your buddy's work, compare how you did, do your pictures match, and then tell each other the story and see if your number sentence matches what happens in the story. Okay? Press pause while you do that and then press play when you're ready. How'd it go, friend? Oh, very nice. All right. Okay. All right. Well done. Go ahead and erase your boards. You guys are doing incredible. Find a new spot on your piece of paper. Now, here's the deal. We're going to do another one, but I'm not going to help you at all. I'm just going to tell you the story, and then I want you to go ahead, do all of the work, and then check yourself, okay? If you get stuck, you can press play. But right now, I'm going to tell you the story, and then I'm going to go ahead and I want you to press pause and do all of the good work, math drawing and number sentence, and then tell me all about it. Okay, so here we go. We have 3 friends on the bus. The bus stopped at the bus stop, and 2 friends got off. Now we only have 1 friend on the bus. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story again. We had 3 friends on the bus. At the bus stop, 2 friends got off, and we only have 1 friend left. Okay, pick up your pencil or your marker, and I'm going to tell the story. And as I do, I want you to do your good work, and then we'll check ourselves. Okay, so here we go. All right, 3 friends got on the bus. Go ahead and do your math drawing. Press pause if you need to. Okay, now we did our math drawing. Make sure you start your number sentence. Ready for the change? All right, we stopped at a bus stop and 2 friends got off. Okay, show that in your picture. Write a number, show that in your number sentence too. Press pause while you work. 3 friends, 2 friends got off. Ready? And now we have 1 friend left. Okay, finish your number sentence. Okay, did you do all those things? Okay. Now, I know it kind of sounds like I'm speeding you along, but you should be pressing pause while you're working, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's check ourselves. So we started with 3 friends. So what did you do to show that? Yes, you could have written the number 3, or you could also have started out by drawing your picture. All right, so we have 3 in our picture, 3 in our number sentence, and then a change happened. What was the change? Yes, 2 friends got off. So we're going to go ahead and show that in our picture and our number sentence. We're going to cross off 1, 2. Is that what you did? Perfect. Make sure you have a change happening in your picture. And then, of course, we need to write that in our number sentence. So I wrote -2 to show that change. Is that what you did? Oh my gosh, we have brain matches all day today. And then finally, the last step is to write equals 1 because that's how many friends there were left at the end. How'd you do, friend? You feeling good? We've been working really hard today. I hope that you're feeling really good. You've been doing a fantastic job. Go ahead and erase your board. I'm going to check one thing real quick. We can also add and subtract and know about adding and subtracting with things beyond just the bus. Okay. So I'm just going to do a quick brain check of you really fast before we go. You don't have to write anything down. This is just letting me know because remember, our learning goal was to tell whether or not we need to add or subtract. So if I have 4 ladybugs and then a change happens and 2 fly away and then I have 2 left, did those ladybugs add or subtract? Yes, they subtracted because we ended up with less, right? What if I had 4 snails and then 4 more joined them and now I have 8? Did we add or subtract there? Yeah, we added because we ended up with more. Friend, you are amazing. You know what? Our learning goal for today says, I know when to add and when to subtract. And you did a wonderful job knowing when to add or subtract today because you really thought carefully about what change was happening. And then that helped you to decide. And when you're working on adding and subtracting, I want you to really think about the change. And if the change happens and you have more, then you're adding. And if a change happens and you have less, then you're subtracting. Okay, good luck, friends.